Hey guys, it's Friday. We're doing Fast Friday for the first time. It's just 5 plus 3 challenges today, so some people are likely to challenge me to longer, though nobody got it wrong. Troll challenged me to 5 plus 5. I'll accept that because it's chess 960. With the 960, I like to have a few seconds extra of increments, so Troll's challenge is acceptable. I'm willing to play up to one more 5 plus 5 chess 960, but it's not obligatory. So we'll play Troll first. Santa Claus, whose idea it was to do this on Fridays. Thank you for the suggestion, Mr. Santa Claus. Tushar Kamde, and then Fancer. So you guys, I'm going to start in a second. I just wanted to get my bearings here, get the stream started, and thank everybody for taking part in the Thursday night subscriber stream. I thought it was pretty good last night. Lots of games to analyze. Another note of mention is yesterday's lichess title tournament, where Magnus Carlsen again just totally dominated. I mean, I didn't watch, but I just saw the results, and it's amazing that, you know, he would be so much stronger than everyone in 1 minute chess, to me. I mean, I just wouldn't think there'd be that much of a difference, and that like speed would be more important than skill. But at the end, I mean, he just didn't look like anybody was even close. Like, Carlsen won almost all of his games, even in 1 minute, which is just amazing. Spinal Tap Chess, what's up, man? You're up early or up late? I'm gonna take this challenge with chess 960 against Troll in a roll, 5 plus 5. So the idea today is that I'm not taking the subscribers ahead of everybody else. I'm just gonna, yeah, like Serbian Santa Claus says, it's like we just let more people play. So I hate knights on g3, g6, b6, and b3, but it's the best we can do. It's even more awkward to play like f3. Although f3, in retrospect, bringing my queen out and attacking a7 might have been a good move. I'm still half asleep here. On the other hand, he's threatening, like, he could play b6 and bishop c5 in my face. I think I'm going to abandon the idea of f3. I do want to be a little bit careful about the dark squares. That diagonal, in other words. Okay, it's faster than usual, so I can't commentate quite as much as I would probably in the 7-minute games. So Magnus's performance in 1 minute was 31:01. Dude is like, that's crazy. The other day he played, he was streaming, and I guess he was kind of messing around because he did, like, you know, a whatever weekly bullet tournament or something, and his result was like 4th place or something. He was just taking it easy, but he's ultra competitive or hyper competitive or whatever you want to say. I mean, to just dominate those bullet players, it's impressive, I have to admit. He's just good at every time control. All right. A6, giving the bishop retreat squares. Get my bishop outside the pawn chain. B5. Wow. Gaining space, giving your rook squares, but weakening your structure at the same time. Okay, let's try this. Yeah, so the idea is simply to play more games, maybe get more people involved. Mr. Chess, no relation to Mr. Coffee, I'm assuming. He's not human. Yeah, what is a strong engine in Bullet rated, by the way? If, let's say, Carlsen could be 3100, or even 3050, for argument's sake, how does that compare to a strong chess engine? Is it worth considering pawn takes here? It's probably worth considering, though it loses some control of the center. Ancient aliens. And Kirsan can actually... You know, when was the timing, by the way, of Kirsan getting abducted by that spaceship? You know, it seems like it might have been around the time when Carlsen was... It could have been around the time when Carlsen was born, you know, which would be very suspicious, wouldn't it? We'll have to, like, do further investigations. It's a conspiracy. Alright, my queen is looking kind of uncomfortable on g1 right at the moment. Prophylactic thinking goes a long way in chess 960, I think. We're very careful. We always see the advantage, but then we're like an animal that's cornered or something. Carlsen lose 100 to 0 to Stockfish in one minute games. Then how can his... Yeah, that's weird. But what would Stockfish's rating be then, Spinal Tap? Then 3,400? I mean, is that what we're saying? How high could Stockfish's rating get? To 34, approximately? Not to mention the fact that it's like faster. Yeah, I don't really think that playing computers in bullet chess is extremely fair, since they can move basically instantaneously. They have that built-in advantage of being a machine. I'm not liking this position a whole lot. Watch out for the a2 pawn. Case of queen g8 later on. I never like my openings though. Okay, it's fairly symmetrical though, to be honest. Nothing really going on here. 3,400 elo is Stockfish's latest version. Well, I mean, 3,400 elo in blitz bullet, I guess. I mean, I don't think anybody's that good in like slow chess. I would think even the top computers, a lot of grandmasters could still draw them in slow games. So it'd be hard for them to maintain an elo of like 3,400. Too many draws with human grandmasters who are rated like 2,800. Beating them is another story. Nearly impossible. Anyway, this is all speculation. So guys, we're going to play as many games as we can. 5+3. Just accepting the challenges as I get them here. A little worried about the bishop on a1. I'm going to have to play b3 at some point, but it does create a lot of weaknesses around my king. b3, weakening the dark squares, just what I was hoping for. Not so bad, actually. I mean, it's not that easy for his knights to get in there to like b5 and jump in here. It only takes 2 moves. Giving him ideas. We can also hold off on the b3 right away. I'm inclined to play knight f5, but my knight just gets kicked out by g6 later on. Don't know what to do. He's so good in the opening in chess 960. Troll is very solid. Don't have anything to do. b3 a4 almost looks like good for him. I'll save my bishop for later. So what is the plan here? Don't really know. I'm backing off. Trying to play d4 would be an idea, but it's still very difficult to achieve. He's basically prevented everything. I don't have f4, I don't have d4. I can't even play b3 without my... I don't know, he's so good at chess 960 openings. I always have a bad position in the first 10 moves. Look at this. Brilliancy. Like, it's discouraging me from doing b3. Damn, dude. What am I supposed to do here? I don't like any of my options. If I play d4, I just hang my pawn on e4 later on. Maybe not, because this rook. The rook might be able to protect it. But I'm not sure that playing d4 is really a plan here. I mean, why is black so much better? This is a weak move, I think. Trading pieces just reduces his advantage. He's also giving me f4. That was like the first bad move he's made. I'm still effectively playing with no bishop. I mean, if the queens were traded or something like that, I would feel more comfortable about playing like b3. Castles is a brilliancy. I just forgot that's even possible. I might just like be getting mated. c3 weakens the structure more. Maybe like irreparably. Now I could try. If I play c3, that's it for my bishop though, forever. You know. This is a very perversely bad position for me. I could possibly play like c3 and d4. But what am I going to do with that bishop? I'm playing without a piece. I'm basically a piece down here. And b3 is... Can I try it? Like b3? I think I'm getting mated. You know, it's no joke. Maybe I can play b3 now after playing c3. But I'm going to get mated down the a file, or at least come under like very, very serious fire. Again, an exceptional game. Another great game by Troll. It's playing the opening in Chess 960. In general, play is brutally strong. Black has maintained a big advantage here. Maybe I can play d4, but what am I going to do on b4? I have check on c4, and then what? If I play b3, this is suicide if I play b3. Take, queen a3, king c2. Maybe I can survive. My bishop has to breathe. It looks dangerous for my king, but my bishop has to live. If I have no bishop, I think I'm dead. You know what I could have done? Maybe try to run my king around to the other side there. Maybe that was a decent plan. Right there and then to play king c2 and start running. But then his bishop is guarding that diagonal, so I don't know if I can get across. I'd have to go to like f3 or something, or take the time to play queen f3. It looks a little slow. So I'm just in time to trap his queen if he tries to play b4, and queen a2 check, bishop b2, b4, rook a1. So I think there's a chance I'm surviving here. Well, I also have rook a1, which is like... Which is what? Okay, d4, rook a1, queen b6. Is d4 even a good move? Probably. I have a check. I don't think he should really trade queens. Takes on c3, takes on d4. Black is okay, probably. But now he lost his advantage. I think my position was really bad. Like, here apparently I could play b4. It was a much better plan than getting killed on the queen side. Well, let's see how big his advantage got. He's like +1. Over +1. when I played knight f5. Yeah, actually the engine likes 97. I didn't like that move. I thought that's a big mistake for you. It actually increased to 1.4 after castles. This looks very bad for white. I thought here maybe running with the king, but it's not so realistic. I'll just lose the a2 pawn probably. I don't know, it says b4 for black is really strong. Alright guys, let's play another game. Anyway, enough time on one game. Tons of challenges. I'll try to get to all these games, hopefully. Make sure everybody's challenged me to 5-3 unrated. That's easy to know. Now there's only one time control. That makes it simpler. We don't have to think about it. Serbian Santa Claus. I would imagine engines are quite good at chess 960, no? It's like my game yesterday with... Similar to my game with Ananas yesterday where I played like d6 and e5. Not a good position though. It's not really a good idea playing e5. This is a weird line. Kasparov even played this once, I think. I played this against Nigel Davies. Nigel Davies. No theory, that's what the engine wants. Bishop d2. So queen d3 there, I think. Knight takes c3, bishop d2. Does that make sense? Serbian Santa Claus is pretty fast. Am I supposed to take and then play knight c6 and then knight b3? I go home or something. Et phone home. I actually have bishop takes c3 there. For better or for worse. I don't know if it's a good move in this position though. White looks just better. My dark square bishop is awfully important here in this particular scenario. I don't think that bishop takes c3 is a great idea. I guess it's playable. I could take and play queen e5 and try to plant my queen on the dark squares in fianchetto. That's interesting. But white still is always better. In these Catalan positions, Romanician and all these guys who play bishop g2, they like to have those doubled pawns on c3 and c4 because that gives them the b file and all this pressure on like b7. Maybe I'll just play queen d8. That was the original plan anyway, but it's a little bit passive for black. But I do have a monster bishop, you know, on g7. Nefedov says, what? Cancel your challenge and there will be no more mediocre chess plays. What are you talking about, Nefedov? Oh, I came here to watch mediocre chess plays. Sounds like you came for get some attention or something. Alright, knight c6, knight b3, queen d8, or maybe what else can you do? That's about it. Knight c2 is more passive. But again, I have the opportunity to take here on c3. Knight c2 is not bad though. He's got the revolving door through d5, which is a great square. So it's always okay. I prefer that square in general to b3. I could take on c3 and then play like structural chess. It actually looks like a Rubinstein variation in English, but in those lines his bishop is bad on, like, you know, Marazzi structure with pawns on c4 and e4. Here he has the bishop on g2. That's a lot more lively. You know, so But I think I'm glad with knight b3 he gains the tempo, and he could play like knight b3 c5. And here I have more time, so I can play like d6. It's probably important for me to be able to play d6. If he plays c5, it would have been awkward. I would have had to play knight b3, queen d8, c5, like b6 at some point to undermine his c5 pawn. Castles, castles. Black should be fine. I don't think I'm better, even though I have the bishop pair. The bishop pair is not such a big advantage. What to do, though, with the queen? Maybe queen h5 here. Kind of awkward, though. Queen h5, he has bishop f3 sometimes. Bishop e6, I guess, is just equal. I can trade my bishop off. I guess that's the best I could do, realistically. We're just taking. Can't take with the knight. That's good. So we're at least equal, but I think that, you know, in a way, white is overextended a tiny bit with that pawn on d5, though. Objectively, okay, he's probably not really worse. I could consider taking on c3 now. Maybe for a computer, that would be an interesting option. I'm not a computer, though. Obviously. So I guess it's like an itty bit better for black, but realistically not too much. What are we doing here? I'm going to e5. His bishop is kind of bad, blocked by the pawn on d5, whereas mine has like a long diagonal. So that gives me a sort of advantage. And plus I'm threatening knight c4 here, so our pieces are pretty well coordinated. We don't really have any weaknesses. White is slightly worse. He has to kind of defend unpleasantly, and I think computers are good with that, you know, but humans not so good. All right, 95. Threatening knight c4. What do you want white to play here? Rook b1. Even that doesn't solve the problem, does it? It's not easy to meet knight c4, knight takes b2. He can play rook c1. I mean, maybe he can let me take on b2. Rook c1, knight c4, queen d3. No, queen c2, rook c8. Then bishop h3. Bishop h3 is always annoying. That's a key resource for white here, so his bishop might not be that bad. You know, in some variations it can come out to h3 and have a function, taking away like my c8 square for use of the open file. But right now I'm threatening immediate stuff. He might have tactical resources like queen e3, bringing up new issues with the pawn on e7. I guess queen e3, rook e8. I'll just protect my e7 pawn and renew the threats. I guess he could even play b3, like physically protecting the c4 square, but it looks very dangerous. Actually, no, I have knight f3 check and bishop takes c3, so he can't do that right away. Maybe queen e3, rook e8, and then like b3, getting his queen off that square so bishop takes c3 doesn't hit his queen. He's thinking forever, or he's disconnected here. This is unlike Santa Claus to think so long. I think I've been talking for 2 minutes. He must have just gotten disconnected. Or not. Yeah, this can't be good for white. He just thought himself into a bad move. I guess he's going to play knight a3. Maybe it's not that bad. It looks bad. I mean, it looks kind of ridiculous. But he's going to play knight a3, stopping knight c4 indefinitely. And that's his primary weak point, you know. It's good to have a plan. I can also do bishop h6, but he can always block me with f4. Take rook c8, bishop h6, then knight g4. Queen b6, knight a3, and it becomes difficult to do anything. I'm also losing time. Okay, I don't know. It feels logical to play queen b6, but my knight also has to... my knight has to be careful about getting trapped here. Okay, I have knight g4 at the moment, but... this was a brilliant regrouping. He spent all his time on that move. Yeah, I don't know. This is genius. Knight b1 was really a brilliant idea. I guess it's just equal now. I just off for a draw. This looks equal to me. I don't know. Alright, man. Knight b1. Nice move. I failed to find the best move after knight b1. Man. I didn't even consider the obvious knight c4. Oh, man. He probably didn't either. So we both missed this. Oh. It nearly wins. That's ridiculous. We both didn't see this. I mean, I'm sure that he wouldn't have played this if he had seen it. And I didn't see it either. So knight c4. Man, that's the solution. And then I'm better. Just like clearly better. He has to take and go into this bad ending. Like, this is torturous. I just didn't see it. He didn't see it. Okay. But I needed to find that move. If I don't find that move, I guess I don't have too much there. Alright. Tushar Kende, another strong player. We had an interesting Roy Lopez the other day, yesterday, in the subscriber stream. Why don't people play Rapid? I agree. I don't like Bullet. But Blitz is cool. Lost on time? Who lost on time? Troll? Alright, let's see what... he did something different yesterday. Bishop g4 in the main line, Roy Lopez. You gonna play that again? No. So yesterday it was bishop g4 here, which is a line that I kind of wasn't prepared for. So now castles. He's just taking on d4. Whoa, normally they play bishop g4 here. What's up with this? So I have to take back. Okay, I don't know this line really. It's similar to the Chigorin variation with knight a5, right? But I haven't played h3. If I play h3, would we transpose? Okay, there's no time for deep analysis here. I guess this transposes to a Chigorin. Is it really necessary to learn lines? I mean, I think if you want to be a tournament player, it is. I don't know. Like you can probably get away with not knowing opening theory online and playing blitz. It's not that, if you're good at tactics and everything, and you play like simple systems, then I guess you can play the London system all your life in 5-minute chess and be like 2900 if you're really good at everything else. But if you want to be a successful tournament player, I don't know too many grandmasters who aren't familiar with a lot of opening theory. All right. Well, this is probably like a standard line of the Chigorin. Knight a5. But there's so many variations. They all look the same to me. I don't know. I'm not really a native e4 player. I play e4, but I don't know it nearly as well as d4 or even c4 for that matter. He's ridiculously fast in the opening. I guess my knight has to go to g3 here because it needs to protect the e4 square. But at this point now I don't know what to do. b3. I guess b3 we can take on d4, we play bishop b2. Our bishop is good. Looks like a fairly standard type of position. I don't know, earlier I had made a criticism of like Tushar not knowing the opening theory very well, but I'm beginning to think like I was wrong about this. Lately he seems to play the openings extremely well. Now I guess b4. b4 is okay. No, well, I've got to watch out. He'll have time for d5 there. Maybe b4 is a mistake. I can play queen d2. That's awkward. What if I take and allow his knight to come in, then play the bishop back to c1? Doesn't seem right. Queen d2. He has sick lines with b4 pawn sacrifice like a computer. So I can't mess around here. b4 a3. Then he has d5. b4 a3. Yeah. All right. I don't know. I wasted all my time. But at least this position I understand how to kind of play here. I don't understand, his rating is down to 2048 or this is blitz. He's 2191 in rapid. He's, in my opinion, much stronger and faster than he should be for 2098. I mean, 2048 in 5 minutes. He's played the opening like he's an expert on the black side of the Roi Lopez, and this is not the first time. He, I don't know. In the beginning, I thought, okay, he's not that strong in the openings, but now he's like, he knows more than I do. Maybe just in this Roi Lopez specifically is like his strongest opening. Why don't you move to d5? It's inflexible. I mean, the best squares for the pawns when they're adjacent, they're controlling all these squares. Like every single square is under control. You know, there's like no outpost for his pieces at all. Of course, there are situations when you push to d5 in this line, but it's a matter of style, and it's usually creating holes. You know, so we want to try to take away all the possibilities for black. You know, to frustrate him so he has no way to improve his position. If you play a move like d5, it's very committal. It may have some good points and some bad points. But basically keeping the center pawns adjacent, you know, abreast like that is usually the best. If we can do it, if we can manage to keep the pawns fluid. We'll constantly have the threat of d5 or e5 depending on the situation. Okay. I guess I'm happy I did it the way I did it. There were really nasty threats there. If I had tried to do b3, I mean bishop c3, I would have walked into this. No, queen d2 I almost played. Queen d2 would have been catastrophic. b4, queen takes b4, d5 with a raging initiative for black. Now he's going to the think tank. He talks, what am I trying to say? I forgot what I was going to say, but you know, he was talking about why he played so fast yesterday, like this again today. He used all his time in one moment. Some people have a tendency to do that, you know. They go into these like deep thinks. a4 is an idea. But it's probably not right. Still hard to come up with a plan here though for me. Knight f5. He's going to go knight b6, knight a4 now. I have no idea what to do. This is probably just a blunder. Letting him play knight b2. Strategically dubious. Now, g5 is a bad move though. Weakens his own king side. He had knight b2 there. He just went into panic mode. This should be winning for white now. I think he was just panicking, like, because he was close to winning on time and started to get a little nervous or something, but this is probably not my best move. Ultimately, I can get the rook in like Soltigo yesterday in our subscriber stream game analysis. Rook g3, rook e3, rook g3. Kind of similar idea. Okay, I mean, he just had a good position with knight b2. I mean, that's the minimum, right? Bishop f4 was awful. I was down to 30 seconds and I started to panic here and played bishop f4. I mean, this is not a good move. He has this. Trading off my bishop on d3. Black is at least equal after that. Alright. G5 was a terrible move though. Like right in that position he blunders with g5, forcing me to go back. And now his kingside is compromised. This was just a panic move. But I got into too much time pressure there. Let's try another e4 game. Epithetos, Nefedov, Aserbi, thank you for subscribing, guys. This is a new idea to play just 5+3 on Friday, so more people have time to play. You think you had no plans, Tushar? Me too. We got to a position where it's hard for both sides to come up with a plan. Alright, the Berlin defense, as played by Fancer here, it's really irritating. I don't want to play an endgame. The Berlin defense endgame, I don't think, is very interesting. What did I do? Said Tushar. You played g5? We both blundered. I mean, I played bishop f4 and then you played g5 in that moment. Like, exactly the wrong moves for both sides. I let you play knight b2 and you let your king side just dissolve with g5. Thanks for the Red Bull. I already have my coffee though. Oh, that's for Spinal Tap. Alright. Yeah, but I mean, another good opening, Tushar. I thought, you know, that system looks perfectly fine for black. So your problem is definitely not the opening. Bishop d7, this is all like standard. It's solid idea for black here. I have to be careful when I go here. I don't allow some tactics later on with discoveries. I'm not sure if a6 is a good move or not for black. Theoretically, I could even play bishop c4 there. I didn't even consider it. It's kind of unnatural looking. D4. Seems like I should play d4. Get them while they're hot. It's like a whirl attack in the normal Royal Pez. Okay, knight c3, b5, bishop somewhere is okay, right? Am I going to regret putting my knight on c3 here? Should I play h3 first just to eliminate? Yeah. Why not play h3 first? Eliminate the possibility of that, bishop g4. Oh, I know why not. Because I just did what I said I was going to do. Knight c3 was a better move. Yeah, I walked right into knight takes d4. I was saying, don't do this. Don't do this, you know. Listen to what I preach, not what I do, right? I just blundered the tactic I was talking about a minute ago. Nice job, me. Yeah, so that's what I said. Don't drop this knight takes d4 tactic. And I was about to play knight c3. Better move. Alright, good to know. It's embarrassing to fall for something you pointed out to the opponent. Okay, now we're just like a pawn down with very little compensation. Maybe like a third of a pawn at the most. But Fenster played queen d7. Just looks like a strange move. Looks like a strange move. Knight f5 doesn't really help me. It's actually not that bad of a move. It's a strange move, but it's not that bad of a move. That's embarrassing. To allow knight takes d4. Yesterday, Soltigo brought his rook from g3. I know. From d3. I know. But it was close anyway. Bishop b5. Giving me the pawn back? That's generous. That's generous of you. Why do you want to be such a nice guy? Well, he's giving me my pawn back. Gotta like this guy. Thank you for the return sacrifice. After knight takes b5, knight takes e4, queen takes e4 wins a piece. Knight takes b5, c6 is fine. Knight takes b5 is looking... I could even possibly play queen takes b5. Yeah, I like queen takes b5 as well. Both moves look good. Now, I mean, it's hard to say who's better. We both have our share of weaknesses here. But that was ridiculous for black to give me a pawn back. I mean, he's just up a clear pawn there. So this is really, really badly played, sequenced by both. Rook e8, though. Bearing down on the e4 pawn. That seems sensible. The plan was to play b3 and bishop b2. I feel like structurally white could be better here because of the pawn structure being like 3 pawn islands. You know, 2 pawn islands, but I have the bigger pawn island. It's like a sort of symbolic advantage here for white. Too sharp. After g5, you probably went up like 40 cent a pawn. That move alone probably is responsible for a big chunk of your cent a pawn. Okay, we played badly. You especially played badly at the end. I mean, you lost your whole king side. Obviously, you're going to have high cent a pawn loss. But I felt like you played too fast because I was running out of time and you were kind of rushing. If you just were calm and slowly improved your position. Rook e1. He's got a good retreat here. I've got to take care of the pawns where I have, you know, some exposure like this. Those pawns have to be well protected. Fenster seems pretty solid. Are playing white as well as black for this game? What do you talk about? What you talking about, Willis? Rook on after e1, and black is very compact. I think he's got to be okay here. Again, like I have a symbolic advantage because I have a strong central pawn. I think that theoretically white is a tiny bit better in some sense because of the strong pawn. But again, it's like largely just symbolic. Queen c2 or queen g3. Queen g3 sort of walks into tactics. You're just like begging the guy to go queen e7 and skewer me on h4. I don't have much of an advantage here. I have to be a little bit careful, in fact. I don't overextend myself. But I'm pretty good at recognizing when I've gone too far or something. Well, luckily I have a tactic. So we found counter tactic, knight d5. Luckily, both sides guilty of falling for some sort of obvious tactics. Knight d4 for him and knight d5 for me. Now we're equal. We've each got one really blatant tactic that we missed. Queen position. I had the queen on e2, missing knight d4 after actually announcing it like 5 moves earlier. And then he's got the queen on c7. He should have played queen d7 last move, I guess. Here. Just eyeing, the king side. Although, to be honest, I could build up. Maybe I can pressurize d6 here. It's not that easy. I might be a little bit better. Which way do we take? With the bishop or with the knight? Tempting to take with the bishop, then play like knight e3, knight f5. That looks pretty good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with taking the other way as well, but I really have a partiality to this knight on f5. Is knight f4 a problem for me? Knight f4, rook d2. Can I sacrifice the exchange because my knight on f5 is so strong? Probably too slow. You can always sacrifice the exchange back for a knight on f5. So I'll just ignore this. We're a little bit better now. I mean, his king side is mangled. So objectively, that's pretty serious, I don't think that that's too easy to deal with. g3, king h2. I'm hanging the pawn. f3. Maybe I could have tried to take this pawn on d6, but I feel like my coordination is more important. Rook there. Oh, knight. Damn, dude. I feel like I'm totally misplaying this. I think that's safe assumption. I misplayed this really badly. And d5 is an extremely strong move. Man, this guy's 1866. Really tough game by black. Okay, guys, let's go with the next challenge. 5 plus 3. Not a really pretty game by me there. Why am I getting white every game? That's like 3 in a row. I guess it's possible to play 3 whites in a row, though. But is it just 3 in a row? Chess 960, I was white as well. Is this one of those jokes where people make me play white every single game? That would be silly. All right, Neo Grunfeld. That's enough e4 for a few minutes. Knight on f5 there. This is apparently like a blunder. At least like strategically. Black has to play f6 now or rook g8, both of which are kind of compromising. White should have a significant advantage here. I think this happened in one of my Budapest Team Championship teammates games. Some old man, he didn't know any theory, and he just like walked into this with black, like a very unpleasant sort of situation. Bishop c4 check, king h8, h4. Can we think about this as a serious plan? I mean, is it a good idea to go crazy here with h4, or am I going too far? You know, basically. Should we just play something, you know, like principled? My queen is on a kind of strange square on c3 now. So let's just play, I don't know though. Is it too late to start playing normal chess, so to speak? The guy's super fast. He's like 2,000. Oh, this is the guy who doesn't know any theory. So he's just like really good practically, but he doesn't know any openings, he says. I'm just guessing because it's JB or something. ICB Johnny. Are you ICB Johnny? No, maybe not. I'm just guessing that Jacob was ICB Johnny. But maybe not. I'm just speculating. All right. I mean, it may be that black just simply doesn't know this line. You know, I've seen masters go into this like in blitz games because they weren't really thinking about it. I mean, anybody could play knight takes c3 in the wrong position. Maybe he knows a lot of theory, just not this particular variation. H3 is sort of passive though. I would be happier, I guess, if my pawn was on b3, on c3. That would be like my center would be more secure. I think it's like freezing rain outside. You guys may hear a strange sound. Kind of surprising actually, because it's too cold to like rain. It should only be snow. I don't know how it can be freezing rain. It's like large things landing on the window. Knight c6 now, and if d5, f5, e5, that looks good. Yeah, I think we just go with d5. I mean, I guess his plan is to play knight e5, but his structure is shot forever in that variation. It's very important to have confidence in your technical abilities. You know, I'm like, okay, I have no problem making transitions into technical positions like this. Okay, no attack. I'm just gonna like play with a better structure. I give up on the attack. We basically have a winning position based on structure. I guess winning is exaggerated though. Winning is a little too optimistic, but clearly better for white here is definitely appropriate. Queen to d6. You know, you could even castle queenside, but I think that's increasing the variance. If we want to look at it in terms of like poker or statistics. He's got some ideas. Queen f6. I'll play this. My e4 pawn is unprotected. Actually, that could be a problem in the variation where he gets his queen to like h4. This is what I'm trying to say. I prevented e6 by threatening bishop c5. We're kind of keeping him tied down to c7, so bishop e2 is a passive move essentially, but it stops some things he might want to do. Spinal Tap says, although I'm sober now, what? By now, just more tired than anything. Okay. Spinal Tap says, I hate when you're sober. You're just no fun, man. This looks very overt and kind of... He has no square for his bishop. He is threatening bishop h6, though. I'm always on alert. I had a tactic like that against Arthur Bisgeier once. With bishop h6. In this kind of position where f2 was critical. Queen f6. Queen takes b7. Bishop h6. How much does that even do? He also has queen h4. That's a more realistic problem. But g3, like, there's no going back once I weaken my kingside with that. But he's going to lodge his queen on, like, h... This is the big problem that I was worried about before, actually. And my stupid e4 pawn is unprotected. Queen takes c7, queen h4. I guess I could just do something... Not so easy, though. If I play bishop f3, he has bishop a6. Ah, I can go there. It's kind of a fun killer. Queen c6. Killer of fun. Material is not so important here. I mean, I have a strategically almost winning position, so it's not essential that I go grabbing pawns. I just want to maintain my advantage without allowing any bad things to happen to myself. Did you beat that Padmini back in 2010 in Budapest Open? No. Tushar? I think I played her in either Balaton Lela. No, it was not Balaton Lela. I played her either in Haviz, Heviz. There was a round robin there, or I beat her in the first Saturday GM tournament. I'm not sure, one or the other. Around 2010, 2011, between 2009 and 2011, but I have the feeling it was 2010 or 2011. Either Haviz or first Saturday. I don't know. You drink doing both naturally. Yeah, I like drinking a cold beer during the stream. Alright, now counterplay is no longer with us. So black is going to just go down without a fight here. It's a cagey move. E6. Interesting. Said he was going to go down without a fight. Maybe this is a strange way of continuing the fight. Wow. That's an amazing idea. Always speak too soon. That is a brilliant move. Objectively, I'm probably still winning, but there's some complications. He has a little bit of counterplay. Attacking my pawn. Wow. And white is clearly better here. getting his pawn back. That was an amazing idea to play e6. Maybe I should have taken on e6, but he also had chances there. Passed pawns must be pushed. I mean, this still looks strong, but I can't guarantee I'm winning. Wow. Not sure this is a good idea, but it's becoming a blitz. Comes up with all these cagey defenses. Rook behind, passed pawn. Yeah, why don't I take this? Take it while the taking is good. So conveniently defending a2. He really managed to make a game out of this, though. I thought it was going to be, just when I said it was like over, no counterplay. Now we got the pawn nailed down and just play a4. I think it's really over. This is weak. This is solidly protected. We should be winning here. His king is not helping. He's still 2 squares away. Not easy though. I mean, e6 was a really nice move. Just to recap, I thought the game was over, but this move saves him, or at least gives him chances to survive. Look at the stockfish here. e6 is literally the only move that doesn't go to like +3 for white or something like that. That's a really nice defense. Not that easy for me after that. Spinal Tap is in the list. Uh-oh. We haven't played in a while. Spinal Tap. I'll get warmed up against Fat President, and then we'll battle Spinal Tap chess next. Oh, the London system. I love the London system. There's nothing more that I like to play against. I wish every game I played was the London system. Alright. There are like these masters from the US, Cyrus Lakdawala and Stephen Muhammad, who are like IMs. They would like play the London system every single game. I would quit chess if I had to play the London system every single game. I mean, that's just boring. Oh, did we have this before? I forgot. You got the thing going on with the c4. All right, if you're gonna play c4, I'm gonna have to play differently. Not really a true King's Indian here. I have no idea, you know, what's correct here for black. I'm just playing like it's a Smyslov system of the King's Indian, I guess. This looks reasonable, though. It should be about equal. Where am I from? I'm from New Jersey originally. Then I moved to Boston. So I've split my life between three places. Near Philadelphia for like 15 years, Boston for 15 years, and well, roughly, and then Budapest for the last 14 years. So basically, Philadelphia, Boston, and the Philadelphia area, and then Boston and Budapest. We're moving steadily northward and eastward. I'll be in Siberia soon. Okay, d5. Actually not northward, because Budapest is further south. Strange as it seems. So I'm going like north, east, and then south again. Maybe we're making a circle. So now maybe like the next will be like Brazil or something. Alright, d5. This looks good suddenly. I like my bishops. I like my bishops here. Knight a5, Benoni style. Okay, we've got to be a little bit thoughtful about my bishop on e4 though. I don't want him to get trapped. If you wanted to be ultra safe, you could play like bishop takes f3. Bishop takes f3 and then move the knight. And that's like if you're really conservative. Okay, whatever. I mean, it's a safe move. Everybody knows I hate the London system, but Nikola Sedlak was like explaining to me, as I said on the stream several times, that that's why he plays the London system, because everyone hates it. So I decided that maybe my attitude was bad. I need to have an attitude adjustment. This probably wasn't the greatest to play it like this, honestly. I don't really have great prospects. I should have played more actively. Can't play b5 now. Not so easily. Who is fat president anyway? What happens if I take and play b5? He seems like he's pretty good technically, actually. I thought fat president was like a little kid or something, you know. But I'm having my doubts because it feels like he's, you know, he's kind of comfortable with like simple positions and like technical stuff. Most of the players I play here are like younger generation. But I'm starting to think fat president might be middle-aged or something. What about c5? You're going to play c5 on me? Fat and mad. a5, c5. That's a problem. Takes. Yeah, I'm drifting into a slightly worse position here. It's probably not a big deal, but okay. I'm not better at all. I'm like a tiny bit worse. I always have, you know, pictures of the players who I'm playing. I said all presidents are fat, for except Obama, yeah. But it's normal, especially if you live in Central or Eastern Europe. Look at all the politicians, dude. If they're not fat, then they can't get elected. I mean, you've got to represent, like, you know, corruption and like abuse of power to get elected in Eastern Europe. And if you're not fat, you don't represent the right image. All of the Hungarian all the Hungarian politicians are fat. I mean, it just, you know, how would it look if you're like a skinny politician? So he's all technical. Yeah, I'm not enjoying this a whole lot. The Fat President is also a new account, right? Pretty new account. Don't know who it is. I think you just can't get elected here unless you're fat. You know, I mean, it doesn't look right. Nobody wants to be skinny, so they want to vote for someone who's fat. All right, Queen b6. Yeah, he's a really good technical player, which is rare here, you know, or at least good, practical. I guess I'll play rook a8 and just try to hold the dark squares. This was unpleasant. Don't know much about Fat President, but he's not a little kid, judging by his style. What just happened here? He played c5. Whoa. Okay. What's your idea? To bishop or not to bishop? That is the question. He doesn't play like a little kid. I mean, he plays like a kind of mature... I like kind of guessing who people are and what kind of style they have, but I'm more like a practical, mature player. I don't know. Okay, I don't know the Serbian politicians. I would imagine they would be similar to Hungarians. Well, I don't know. Serbians are probably less fat in general. They're usually taller too. You guys have a lot of good basketball players. I mean, we don't have, you know, it's hard to be fat and tall. It's much easier to be fat when you're short. So Serbians are naturally tall. I think that's why they're not as fat. It's very deep analysis here. But judging by the amount of basketball players you guys have and how good you are at basketball, there's just no way that you're going to be as fat. Chess psychiatrist. It's not politically correct to say fat. You have to say, like, what is it, like vertically, no, horizontally challenged? C takes b4. So I think we've like equalized. Finally, I moved 26. Approximately equal time left. Gotta get free. Try to get free. Bishop on c6 is making me unhappy. Black is okay, in the words of Andras Dorian. Not the most exciting tactical slugfest we've ever seen. It was very unpleasant for me. I'm so stupid to have played bishop takes f3. After that, I had no life. I could have played like lots of active moves, knight a5 or even knight b4. Knight a5 was natural. It's like Magnus Carlsen with his intuition. We should just trust our intuition and no draw. Okay, listen, objectively, it probably is drawn. I may have just missed a better move. No, not really. Fat President, what's going on? 96! Exclamation point. Stopping rook a7. Look how thoughtful he is about these little sneaky moves. And the rook a1, preventing rook a7. I have knight d3, g3, knight b4. Ooh. Does that make sense? Not really. It's not so easy. What about knight d4? I said knight d3. What am I doing? Going to knight d4? Oh no, Fat President blundered. Alright. Guys, we're streaming for another hour. So hopefully we get to all these challenges. That was sort of a silly victory. Probably just a draw. Spinal Tap. I'm white again. I was black last game. Why do I have so many whites? Anyway. Spinal Tap Chess is timed out. Excessive caps. Yeah, he's up to 25-60. Where is he? He's getting another shot of whatever he's drinking. Alright. He plays the Grunfeld? I don't remember. He probably plays other stuff too. Probably plays a lot of stuff. It's not a Grunfeld yet. It could be a Grunfeld. Does he play King's Indian? Grunfeld, no? No. Alright. So we'll just play what we know best. It's been so long ago that I played him that I don't remember our games. I remember once I beat him with black in the Budapest Gambit, but that's about the only game that sticks out because I never played that and it was kind of funny. Funny to beat anybody with a Budapest Gambit. This is a kind of Benoni, I guess. I don't play on chess.com. Don't like supporting millionaires. And lichess is just like, you know, for the benefit of everyone. Bishop h4. Free chess community. e6. Let's just play e3 here. Spinal Tap is a strong player and he knows, you know, what he's doing. E4 is generally riskier because the pawn itself becomes a target on e4 for black's counterplay along the e file. I don't know, I guess this is fairly standard. Long ago I had some blitz games with Dr. John Nunn online, and he played pretty much similarly, but I think that g5, going for the bishop pair, was Dr. Nunn's choice. You know, thinking of like professional players who I played, John Nunn, Mihai Marin, both of those guys went for g5, knight h5, and knight takes g3. Spinal Tap, he didn't go for the quick g5, knight h5 and grabbing the bishop pair, which is sort of like the, you know, the recommended way to play. Now it's too late though, because he doesn't have knight h5, because my queen is guarding h5. But maybe he has his own ideas. He has his own ideas. Cares about Dr. Nunn. How are you supposed to challenge me? Make an account on lichess, play 100 games, and challenge me. Knight on bd7, knight c4 now. It's like the classic Benoni, where if you play knight c4, well, he'll probably play knight b6 there, trading off my guy. So I'm not really inclined to just trade pieces here. I think we need to develop our pizzas. So bishop e2. If I play knight c4, knight b6, it's a classic Benoni idea. I'm not in a hurry to play knight c4 necessarily. Okay, I don't claim that the system is better for white, but at least it's playable. It's easy to play. Black doesn't get the normal counterplay because you don't have a pawn on e4. In all King's Indians, usually white has the pawn on e4. And I find that a lot of King's Indian players, they have a hard time adapting to playing a position where white doesn't play e4. They kind of like, oh, I don't know what to do now. You know, he doesn't have the pawn on e4. Objectively, like bishop g5 is not a dangerous system. There are many ways for black to equalize, but still, like in practice, I think it's easier to play for white. You have to comment while playing to equalize the chances. Yeah, I mean, I asked everyone to have 100 games, so it's just not some anonymous account that they made up for that day. You know, an account that you put some effort into and you care about, so you're not just like trolling me. Queen e7. Here I could play knight c4 now, because if Now the problem with knight c4 is g5, bishop g3, knight e4, knight takes e4, queen takes e4. Does that even work? No. Well, then his d6 would be hanging. So actually, I could play knight c4. He can still play knight e5 though. Well, either way, I mean, I think castles is fine too. There's no rush here. Hopefully Spinal Tap is significantly drunk, that we have an advantage. Because normally we're pretty close in strength, I think. Bishop g3. And we're threatening knight c4 now. Well, threatening it in a way. Okay, knight e8. So this is protected. And I guess he's going to play f5. I'm sort of saddened by that. But f5 is dangerous after e4. I think I have to play e4. If I don't play e4, what am I going to do? This is basically better late than never. That's the idea usually, a delayed e4. Okay, black still has his chances. It's a standard kind of position. I don't think that white is that much better. A little bit. I would prefer to be white here than black. Yeah, and the thing is, like, sometimes we can play f4. F4, then how to recapture. King h1 is another usual move for me. F4 takes, bishop takes, knight g6. I think I ought to do that. Well, I ought to do this while we can do it. It's not a one-way street. We can also take with a rook. I guess it's better to take with the bishop or not. It doesn't matter. Rook takes, knight g6. I saw Alexander Indich playing a position very similar to this with white in the tournament I played here back in December. Indich was playing in the A group of this GM tournament I was playing, and he had something almost identical to this position with white. He's an interesting player. You Serbian guys might know of him. Like he was like up to #1 in Serbia, but he's a really like crazy player. He seems to play like all kinds of random stuff, and he's hyper aggressive, but like to the point of, he seems like he's aggressive to the point of almost mania. They told me he's like a student of Velimirovic. Alright, f5, solid move. Do I develop his pieces for him? Knight c4. What am I doing here? Alright, time is starting to get to be an issue. I don't really like developing his pieces for him here. Prophylaxis. I don't want him to play knight g6 with tempo. So what do you Serbian guys think about? Well, there's only one of you in the house. Santa Claus was here earlier. Indich is an interesting player, but he seems like he needs some mellowing. Like he's too crazy. Okay, bishop d7, just developing the pieces. The a5 is probably not a bad move. Then he has like knight c7 though. Okay, king h1 is a youthful. It's a youthful prophylaxis. A youthful. Okay, I'm evaluating this as close to equal. Looks like a normal position. King takes is kind of funky. I like that. I like when your king gets closer to my pieces. Is this even a good move? The temptation to play bishop h4 is so strong, but is it wrong? Maybe the wrong idea. Take. So close to tactics here. Damn. So close to something. Feels like there ought to be something for white. It's kind of fail. But wait. I'm just making this up. I'm too short of time now. Anyway, my bishop sort of sucked. Bishop e5. This bishop is so strong on e5. My knights ever have anything? Just heavering. He's hoovering the board, looking for end games. Spinal Tap. Solid player. Queen g4. Uh-oh. What am I doing? Heavering. Sort of panicked here. It's not so easy. Oh no. Wow, he made a mistake. Master of endgames. I'm gonna lose now. It's the world loser position. I don't think there's any way to physically win this. Is there? Is there? Oh my god, there is. Wait. I don't think you can win this. Strange. Strange but true. Can you win this? Oh man, are you serious? I probably already missed a draw. No, it's still unwinnable. I have A1. Oh no. It's kind of funny. Have fun trying to win. I just realized I had A1. A1 or E1 or D4 or A3. Did he drop a piece there? Wow. Knight check. Take. No reason to risk it. Good game, man. Alright, close. Vodka Drunk is next. Well. But I had the same draw against World Loser in a simul. That's funny. I love that. I like that position. He missed the move or something? Vodka Drunk. Vodka Drunk is tough. Another boring draw. I love the exchange variation. This guy seems pretty strong. Knight C6 now. Wait a minute. What am I thinking here? I mean, E4, pawn takes pawn, D5? Is this a real thing? Anyway, it's interesting. More I am games. What's that? Thank you for the 3 bits. Oh, Asterbase sent 100 bits. I was like, what is that 3? I thought you sent me 3 bits, but that shows. Alright. I understand now. Wow, H6. It's ultra accurate. Maybe Bishop C1. Vodka Drunk, the 1800. Plays like extremely well. Alright, Queen A4 check. I'm not that into getting my pawn back. It's like a kind of weird Chigorin. He's already minutes ahead of me on time. He beat me last time. 1800, but he's 2100 in classical. But he seems really fast, which is odd, isn't it? He's good and fast, and yet he's only 1800. Alright. The previous game was with an IM, yeah. He feels bad. The king and pawn in the game was winning. What king and pawn in the game? Oh my god, it was winning? What? I assumed that wasn't the case as well, obviously. Queen b6 looks strange. Wow, I mean, knight b5, e5, some kind of ultra massive trick. He's used 30 seconds to play the game so far. Well, this will slow him down a little bit. Now he has to take with like the knight, which is weird. Not really what he wants to do there. Seems awfully strong for 1800. Maybe he's sandbagging his rating. I mean, judging by his speed and his general strength, the rating seems... He also like finished second in a couple of the tournaments I organized, which is totally out of line with his rating. He was like two editions finishing like second in my Tuesday stream. F5. F5 is a massive move. What am I going to do about that? H4. Yeah, actually F5 might be a mistake. H4. Okay, I don't know. H4. There goes castling kingside if I try to play H4. Knight D4 loses a piece. Let's play H4. But his speed is unreal, man. He also has Knight C5. All these weird attempts here. He's used no time. I'm making huge money doing this. Knight E5. Threatening Knight D3 check. So I have Knight F4. But I guess I should just castle into the attack. Bishop takes E5. I don't think so. Knight F4. This guy is scary, dude. I mean, he's 1800 in blitz. I don't think so. I really don't think so. Dude, did you even see my move? You moved already? He didn't even see my move. He just like pre-moved it. Knight D3. It's just gonna crush me. Dude, what's up with your rating, Holmes? 1800 in bullet, 1800 in blitz. Knight F4 or something? What am I supposed to do here? The thing that's most disturbing is his speed of play. Knight F4, I guess. We gotta go for it. Queen H5 check. Doesn't do anything. He's got that covered by the miraculous Queen B6. Comes another one. Okay, I can play Knight E6. That will pose some problems for black, but I don't know how serious actually. I don't know, black's play seems really strong. Yeah, this is a bit odd, dude. I mean, he's sort of suspicious, I think. Do I have knight takes e4? Pawn takes e4, bishop takes. Knight takes e4, pawn takes e4, bishop takes, knight takes, queen h5 check. I'm suspicious too. Knight takes e4. I hope this works. But his rate of play, I mean, geez, dude. You would be like at least 2100 if you could play this tricky this fast. Why are you 1800? Like, seriously. I mean, I'm using everything I got to come up with this insane tactic. F3. When am I going to play F3? Obviously, Nefedov. It's a good suggestion. F3. It's a good idea. You're going to break his pawn chain. The problem is, maybe Nefedov was being sarcastic. I don't know. I mean, F3 is a good idea in general. Scary dude, though. Vodka drunk. Something weird about his game. He drinks a lot when he plays. I had the feeling not. Yeah, unfortunately I missed this. King F6, probably just winning. This could just be winning for black. But I'm not really surprised if it's winning. His play is pretty weird. I thought I was winning a piece, but it's a kind of, I don't know. I don't want to accuse him of being a computer, but I've said this like several times. His play is really, really weird. Not very human-like, I would say. I think I just lost a piece. Didn't see king f6. He's got 1.5. He'll have 2.5 out of 5 against me. 1800. I mean, it's unlikely. What's the problem with g4? g4, g6, I lose a queen. Game over. I just missed king f6. I'm just lost, probably. I mean, he's got a rook on h8, so there's some practical chances here. But objectively, that's not really enough. I should be losing, I mean, down a piece, one way or another. Maybe I have enough compensation with a knight on e6, but I think he doesn't play like a human, you know. He plays this very strange... The other day he blundered bishop takes f7 check on move 4 against me. I mean, that's just... And then he proceeded to like play that very best move, like after bishop takes f7 check, king takes f7, knight takes g4, this sort of beginner opening blunder. He comes out and plays like the best possible move the next move. Like most people would have been devastated they blundered this beginner trap. But he's just like calm about it. You know, I'll just play the best move now. It's a little weird. You know. I can recover. Not if he played really well here. He just blundered. But I mean, if he plays here, here's another moment. Like, why you played so well? Why not play queen c4 in this position? I mean, after queen c4, you know, I think I'm still losing probably. He's just giving me the piece back, but that's weird. It's again like very inconsistent. Now I'm winning. That wouldn't be winning. This is winning. But I better not blunder again. Just take our time here. But his play is so strange. It's not really human-like. I may be wrong. You know, I'm not going to report him for being a computer. He doesn't. It doesn't like. I don't have that kind of evidence. But his play, it's so strange. I think he was just winning here if he plays queen c4. King f7 is like only move, and here I blundered, I guess. Computer likes this. What? The engine thinks I'm better here. Wow. Rook e3, best move. Stockfish likes this position. I thought I was lost after queen c4. What? Whoa, there's a mate on f4. That's why it doesn't work. Rook takes e4, queen takes e2, rook f4 mate. I guess I'm just better than Stockfish. I didn't see it though. I wouldn't have seen this mate. This is an insane mate. You had a guy resign and say, oh, everybody says that, man. Why don't you try like a poker forum or something? I mean, it's... If somebody says like you're a computer, it's a compliment. I wouldn't take it too personally. I've actually had no one ever accuse me of being a computer on lichess. But you used to get that back in the day on ICC. Like, ignorant people are always like accusing everyone they lose to of being a computer. This is... Apparently that was a brilliancy by me, but I thought I was just lost after queen c4. I didn't see the mate with rook f4, so obviously I assumed I couldn't play rook takes f4, rook takes e4. So I thought I was just lost. which is a natural thing. I just didn't see sacrificing my queen and mating him with rook f4. I guess my intuition is like almost on the Magnus level. Yeah, you should definitely say thank you if someone accuses you of being a computer and you're not. But I haven't had that much compliments. I've played a lot of good games, but people see that I'm a title player, and for the most part, they understand that people who are like strong masters have the ability to play, you know, occasional perfect games, or, you know, relatively perfect games. Nefidov, what are we doing here with you? It's been a while since we played this. Last time I was successful with like queen h4. I was lucky there against Vodka Drunk though, because I mean, first of all, I didn't see he could play king f6 at all, you know, and then secondly, I didn't see I could sacrifice my queen for mate, you know, so I'm just like playing on intuition to some extent, but, you know, I don't like to do that, although I should do it more often, I guess, in Blitz. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, trusting your intuition will allow you to play faster too, and I've been getting in time pressure in a lot of my games, so it's definitely something that I've been linking to my bad results in the last 6 months. Getting in time pressure because I don't trust my intuition enough, and having to rely on absolute calculation. If you watch Magnus streaming, he's like 100% intuition. It's really, it's pretty impressive. So Nefidov didn't look this up. He apparently he actually, if I remember correctly, he did something very similar last time against me. Usually he does his homework and finds like what he did wrong, like, and then improves it. But I think this variation slipped through the cracks, and against Queen H4 he didn't necessarily find the best line. Although maybe it's not that bad. There you had Bishop E6, Nefidov. I mean, that seems better. Now you don't have time for anything fun. Okay, still maybe it's okay for black. But Queen H4 is basically considered like a sideline that's not dangerous if black knows exactly what they're doing. I don't know, I can't get past Vodka Drunk. He just plays really weird. It doesn't seem like I can understand his play at all. It feels like he's like a hybrid between a computer and a human. He makes weird mistakes, but then he plays like brilliantly. Bishop E6 though. Here, a good move. I don't really have any ideas. I guess I just defend my c4 pawn. Knight d5 is nothing. He's going to lose the tempo having to move his queen again, but maybe it's not a big problem. Just here, you can move the queen again. So I guess it's okay for black. My bishop really doesn't do a whole lot on g5. Perhaps we should have given some consideration to playing like bishop h6. That loses a pawn though. Yeah. The best plan for black, though, theoretically, against queen h4 is like bishop e6, some kind of bishop e6, rook c8, and rook c5. But how can you do that? Can you sack a pawn immediately with bishop e6, bishop takes b7, rook b8? That's a big question. Rook fe8 is kind of passive, though I'm not really threatening anything here. I have literally no threats. You might even say my bishop on g5 is misplaced. First and only weird move was f4. I'm just slow. Thank you. Dude, you have to consider people's ratings, you know. If he's 2100, he should play on one level. If he's like 1800, he should play on another level. If he's 1600, he should play on another level. When people don't play according to their level, you know, it raises some suspicions. 1800 on lichess is like 1650 FIDE. When 1900 players when players who are like 1900 FIDE like beat me, I mean, it's sort of, even that's suspicious, you know. So it's not just about like he's faster than me, I'm slow, you know. You have to think about his play and the level of his moves according to his rating. Vodka Drunk seems, he also dominated 2 tournaments. You know, I've got a lot of history with this guy now, you know. It's not like he's just some random guy who I played for the first time, John Linus. It's he dominated 2 tournaments I organized here. So it's not so simple. Rook on a to c8. h3 is probably a good move, just taking away the g4 square from the black pieces. I'm slow. I mean, I've got an increment. I'm trying to be instructive, you know. It's not just about me being slow. I can play fast when I play 5-0. I'm trying to teach people, you know. I think that's kind of rude, dude. Anyway. No, it's another really ignorant comment. We can talk about what I want to talk about. If I want to talk about cheating, if it's relevant to me, then I'll talk about it. I don't really appreciate people telling me what to talk about. Okay, b6 here. b6 looks like a weird move. This looks dubious. The black queen side looks strange. But it's still, I mean, I could play knight d5 and actually try to get control of the c6 square long term. But we're kind of running out of time. Bishop on g5 strangely seems misplaced. Though I can go knight d5 and then try to stick a piece on c6. Knight d5, bishop takes d5, pawn takes d5. That looks good. Knight takes d5, pawn takes d5 also looks good. Yeah, no, I mean, I played like 50 games last year over the board. I don't agree with the theory of that we should have these taboo subjects, you know. If it's an issue, then we can talk about it. I think open dialogue is a good idea, especially in today's climate. I hate when people say that to me. It really pisses me off. Queen d7. Queen d7, rook c6 was the idea. Yeah, rook c6 looks pretty good, actually. This is my whole concept, more or less. Govan Kurt, thanks for hanging out. Nefedov, is he suspicious? No. No, he's got his systems that he plays. He can play really well in certain positions. The best to play against him, he's a strong player. No, I talked about his rating before. Of course his rating is suspicious. You know, I don't know. I'm at my wit's end with his blitz rating. You know, it's embarrassing to like lose to him. And I've got all these draws. I'm not even going to go there. What? Sorry? He just dropped a piece. That's why he's 1600. No, he can play like a master. I mean, the thing about Nefedov, though, that you have to know is that his over-the-board rating is like close to 2000. His ECF rating is probably around 2000. You know, and the approximate FIDE rating he would have would be close to 2000. And I don't understand why his blitz rating is so low. Maybe because of doing things like this where he just dropped a pawn on d5. But he's a regular here on my stream. Alright, Huba Klubar. c4. New player 2100. New account. I gotta be careful you guys don't challenge me to rated games. Once in a while someone comes along and then sneaks one in when I'm not expecting it, and I spend all my time like commentating on the game and then like lose. I'm really slightly handicapped by commentation, so commentation, is that a word? People are like, why don't you play rated? Well, I mean, you know, I'm at a disadvantage. Basically, playing, you know, Spinal Tap while he's drinking a beer, and I'm commentating the game, is a disadvantage. Probably cost me about 100 rating points in strength. I don't normally play this line with black. It's actually the same we just played with white. Played A3 here. This is slightly unusual. I think one of my students played that. So you can take the opportunity to play D5. Now, the best move for white is probably not taking, but actually playing like King's Indian with colors reversed. But I'm not sure. Maybe in that position I can take on C4. Alright. I definitely have worked with a few students who played the English. I've also played the English a lot, but I never played A3 in that position. Commentary. Commentation. Nefedov, I think you should report me. More viewers come with more trolls, of course, dude. They're a percentage of the population. Knight takes D5. We've got 87 viewers. That's awesome. Yeah, we're almost up to 100. Friday, I mean, it's more interesting to have more players. I've got to be chill with the rude viewers. I'm not going to freak out because someone said something I don't like. But I don't have to, you know, like it. D3 here. This is actually reversed line, reverse main line now. Queen D6. We could do Queen H5 and transpose to the last game, but this is actually the better move. Queen D6. Karpov, Ribley Karpov. Karpov Ribley. No, not this exact position. Now Knight D7 first. That's interesting. There must be something weird about that move. Why is that wrong? Natural maneuver, but usually white has to do something like Rook B1 to like guard the B2 pawn. Or Nefedov's idea of like Queen C2. But here we've got a mirror image now, Knight D2 right away. It obviously, you know, heads for C4, which is a good idea. Blocks the bishop on C1 though, temporarily. It's not developing a piece. If B6 now, yeah, I mean, I think B6 is a good move. But I still think that Knight D2 is probably okay. I mean, he's playing like with white, not with black. He's a tempo ahead of the normal lines where you're playing with black. I thought Knight C4 was more usual than Knight E4. Kuba Klubar. It sounds European to me. What do you guys think? I mean, I lived 2/3 of my life in the United States. Now I've been in Europe for like 14 years. Kuba Klubar. It sounds Scandinavian. This is logical though. He's trying to enforce B4. And do I want to play A5 and weaken my queen side? Yevgeny Pigyusov. Yelena Dembo had 2 guinea pigs. One of them was named Pigyusov. I thought that was a cool name for a guinea pig. Pigzilla would be another one. Don't ask me why I'm talking about this. It just popped in my head. Alright. But I thought of Pigyusov because of the B5 square. Pigyusov did this against me. But I think I'm going too far. Pigyusov like lodged a knight on the B4 square against me in a hedgehog. That's why it popped in my head. This idea of playing for knight B5. But I think I should develop my pieces here rather than just Which rook, actually? He's trading off my my fianchetto guy. It's an interesting approach by white, putting the knight on e4. I mean, it seems like it might be like vulnerable to attack, but that weakens my king side a lot. So it's just a position. I think it's about equal. Pigzilla and Pigusov. Pigusov is a Russian grandmaster, though I haven't heard of him in a long time. I played him once at the North American Open. On the black side of a hedgehog, he had the, I guess he got a knight on b4. I had broken with b5, and he wedged his knight on b4 like Karpov on a really good kind of outpost square. It was unpleasant and still sticks in my mind to this day. Bishop d2. Solid play by white. Pigusov playing well here. I guess it's Pigusov. We have to ask Nefedov. You guys had the same ending. Pigusov, Nefedov. I'm getting better at pronouncing Nefedov's name. Nefedov. We'll do the Pigusov. I like saying Pigusov though. That sounds cool. We'll wedge the knight on b5. A friendly reminder about his isolated pawn. Nefedov, Pigusov. Mr. Coffee's here. Hey, what's up, Mr. Coffee? There was Mr. Chess was on earlier. I thought he might be a relative. Thanks, Mr. Coffee. Guys, we had really good support of the stream in the last couple of weeks. Got quite a few subscribers. I'm streaming 6 days a week, so I'm really you can depend on me to be here. You know, you get your money's worth for subscribing. You know, some streamers maybe only like occasionally stream, but I guarantee I'm streaming most weeks, like 6 days a week, except for April, when I'll be taking 9 days off to play in a tournament, which we desperately need to do. Don't play enough. Someone asked me if I play over the board. I've been inactive pretty much in the last 5-6 years, playing poker mostly, back since 2017, actually since 2016. But I still don't play enough. I feel like I'm not quite there. Okay, Pigusov, Yusupov, Nefedov. He's got queen a4, but I guess that's just a shot in the dark, so we're not afraid of that. No, John, Linus, I didn't ban you, but I could. I just timed you out, so take it for what it is. Knight to b5. I'm going to be a nice guy, though, and just ignore your last comment. Knight to b5 here is engaging with like the streamer in an argument is really mature, too. I'm trying to concentrate on chess, but you're more concentrated on like getting some attention or something, like a typical troll. I mean, that's really irritating when I'm trying to do something constructive here. Just like, I don't think anyone appreciates what you're doing. Distracting me from playing with stupid comments. All right, bishop c6. This is yeah, it's just really irritating. I'm trying to concentrate on the game, but the guy just wants attention, I think, mostly. Anyway, we'll just ignore him. Bishop c6 here. I think we can fianchetto and get some pressure on the long diagonal, but I have to watch for tactics with that bishop rook takes c6 type of stuff. Huba Klubar. Now I might have to play f5 at some point. Then again, on the other hand, I could just go here, kind of massage the white squares. This guy's a strong player, 2100. Alright. I don't know. I'm just trying to lock down the white squares. I don't think that black is really better in this position. The white has to be careful. Bishop d5. I haven't banned anyone in a long time. I've been getting really mellow. I used to ban people all the time, but becoming much more tolerant. A6. Dude, I don't know. I should play F5 at some point. F5. I mean, we're a little bit better here, but I'm not necessarily sure I can... Man, he went knight g5 on me. Wow. He can't play e4. He's dropping pawns, isn't he? What is going on here? Wow. It's not that simple. I'm gonna like lose on time. Very combative and problematic. What am I gonna do? I don't know. All right. Looks like Kuba Klubar is fast, if nothing else. He seems to be pretty fast. Whoa, my queen is hanging. Oh my god. Good thing I saw that. This got completely out of control. Well, somebody has compensation for pawn. Weak move by me. There is a check. Check. Oh man. Now he's winning. Too fast. My position was okay, but I'm definitely too slow. This guy's super fast. Dude, look at him. He's just really good at fast. Super fast. Decline the draw? Seriously? Alright. Now we're okay. We're out of the woods. Good game, good game. So I don't know. I mean, he was very close to flagging me, and I was almost losing by force. Probably I was lost there in very bad time pressure. I let it get out of control, but a little distracted, unfortunately, during that game. I need to not let the comments in the stream bother me. That's a casual challenge. I don't play 2 days, guys. If you want to challenge me to chess like correspondence, 2 days is too fast. I don't like that. Kowalski. All right, what do we got here? Casuals. Haberbaum, who's a subscriber. It's almost time to go, guys. So this may be the last game, unfortunately. All right, last game for today, I think, unless it's super fast. Played as many games as I could. We had some good battles, though. That was a new opponent for me. I didn't know what to expect from him, but he became super fast. He kind of had that acceleration I wasn't expecting there. Haberbaum with the the bishop g5. What is that about? The bishop g5 immediately. Yeah, what am I supposed to do about that? I guess I'll just castle, let him do what he wants here. What's f4? Actually, I have no clue on f4. But this is normal. Now we have a normal h3 system. But if f4, by the way, like I've never even looked at that. You can play f4 here as well. I don't know. All right, knight a6 is one way to play. It's probably not the safest. Here, knight f3 is a move. I don't know about f4 again. Queen d2. Bishop e2 transposes to a sort of Averbach with h3 played early. Knight f3 looks like okay. Now e5, I guess. I can play queen e8. I'm trying to think. This is a position I had against Alexander Shabalov once. Queen e8. I lost to Alex in the last round of a money game, a tournament, a very important game. I could have won the tournament, but it was a risky decision to play the King's Indian against Shabalov, but I was very optimistic. Queen e8 here. Alex played e5, but I think that's kind of a weird move, and I was unprepared for it. Very long time ago. This is probably the last game, unless it's really fast. Then I might have time for one more. But anyway, thanks you guys for watching. Friday will be like this from now on, where I just play as many games as I can, 5+3. Yeah, take back. No VIP status for subscribers on Fridays. This is the new norm for Fridays. I'm just trying to play as many players as we can. Kind of give the people who aren't subscribers a chance to get to play. So, bishop e2, e5. This is back into a kind of normal line. Should I play h6? Probably not. I'm thinking h6 is a mistake. And this transposes to a game I had with Jens. No, who was it? A German GM. Now I can't remember. No, it wasn't Maybald. I can't remember. There was a German GM. Maybe Christian something. Christian. Am I supposed to play knight e8 here for real? I guess I am. There was a game in Aeroflot, like in this line, I think. Wait a minute. G3, F5? That doesn't look right. That doesn't look right. Can I do that? G3, maybe I can. F5, pawn takes pawn, knight takes e5, knight takes G3 is probably okay for black. Yeah, I think there was an Aeroflot game. If it's not this position, it's almost, this is standard, right? Dmitry Gurevich, G3, totally normal. All right. So g3 here, he played it. Now we have to go f5. Probably all theory. Maybe Nair against somebody. I'm just trying to remember who was playing white in the game in question. f5, take. Knight h4. Maybe something like that is the main line. The queen on e8 is obviously quintessential in protecting h5, but it's doubly attacked, so it's not so simple. I have to have a Zwischenzug. After knight takes e5, knight takes g3. Yeah, I think this is theory. So then back, and Haberbaum is a theory hound. He's only 15.99, but he knows, he really likes opening theory, and there's not that many players on lichess who excel or really pay a lot of attention to opening theory, and I think it's important. So guys, if I have time, I'll play one more game, but it's got to be fast. 5+3. We'll try to play one more game. Oh no, I take back like left. He was like, is there time for one more game? If this is done in like 3 minutes, I'll play one more game. Yeah, but I hate when the stream gets distracted, you know. You guys can talk about what you want, but just not distract from the main theme here. Piss off the streamer. Alright, knight h4, knight f6. And I think this is book, but, you know, not having looked at it very carefully lately, we'll have to do some research on the Aeroflot tournament. I'm pretty sure this was the exact position from one of the games. Well, what's the next move now? Queen d2, right? I believe queen d2. Idea bishop h6. Perhaps, and castle's queenside becomes a possibility. The queen is difficult to attack on d2. This is standard. I think there might have been a queen c2 though. Actually inducing knight b4 and then going to d2. It might have been a Nair game. I'm kind of leaning toward that. Queen c2 and then knight b4 and then like queen moving again. Because queen c2 puts pressure on the f5 pawn. It might have some logic to it. And now he's walking into... I'm sorry because I suggested this unwittingly. He's actually walking into the knight e4 type of ideas. Maybe it's not a problem. Bishop h6 looks logical. And I have to watch out for the c7 pawn, now that Mr. Knight left the a6 square. One of my favorite players plays normal chess usually. I try to play normal chess. I think my strongest suit is not making blunders. I don't really have a specialty. When I was younger, I probably played more unsoundly than I do now. I just try to play correctly. Bishop h6 makes some sense. This is what I recommended in the comments a little bit ago, but you know, objectively, I'm not sure. Maybe the c knight. I don't know that I'm really accomplishing anything other than trading pieces here. But maybe I brought my knight to a good position. You can't really argue with that. White doesn't seem to have any big threats, so we just complete our development. I think this is a very subtle line for white. Positional players, I mean, h3 can be like an attacking position, but you have to understand a lot of strategy too. It's fairly subtle. He has f3 now. f3 is kind of disturbing. But I can just calmly play knight back to c5, I hope. Now he's trying to castle queenside. Not so easy to do, though. The thing is, I mean, there's the undermining move g4. This will knock that possibility out. Bishop d3. He missed bishop d3. This is just a blunder. Well, Haberbaum is on the right track, though. He's playing a lot of good lines. Okay, let's play one last good game. This is a strong player. 2179. 5,000 games, so he's definitely an established account. I think he was on the right track. Haberbaum had a good position. But, you know, okay, it's not easy. He's not a master. He needs some more practice playing that kind of line, playing faster. But your opening is on the right track. That looks like a good line. I think h3 is one of the highest scoring variations against the King's Indian. If you look at the statistics, that particular Makaganov system is definitely very high scoring for white. d3, this is kind of passive. The main line is like castles followed by c3. But I don't think it's bad. d3 itself isn't bad. It's just, it's not the most aggressive setup. Miles played h3 against me here, which I do think is bad. And that was the only game I ever beat him in a rapid time control. h3 weakens white's king side. I think it's just a bad move. But c3 and d4, it seems kind of weird in a sense to play that, though. This is a game I had like with Udazin. c3, e5, or actually usually castles first, then e5, then c3. I mean, admittedly, c3 seems kind of strange because you're weakening your white squares with white in a position where you've given up your white square bishop. There is definitely, you know, something weird about that in general. This knight g5 looks like he's neglecting his development. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, obviously the plan to play f4 makes some sense for white, but there are various problems. Can I play just h6? What is the deal here? f4. Not thinking that's right. Yeah, basically he just gave me h6 for free. Now in some circles you might think that's a mistake. But I think in this particular position, I've got the white square bishop and he doesn't. Now I can play bishop g4, pinning him. It would be very hard to get out of that pin. You know, he might have to play like knight back to d2. But at that point, he'll lose a piece. Okay, d5. d5, knight takes. Bishop takes, I'll have to sack a pawn. This is not so easy. d5, knight takes, c5, d4. Kind of a long variation here. I calculated for this time control. I'm trying to win a piece. I hope it's not too risky. Why did I think that, though? Okay, he just goes there. I guess this was a misconception. I can play knight h5. A misconception. Knight h5 doesn't really help me, though. He takes g3. I'm going to end up losing a pawn there. I have to play like d4. I'm not in love with this. Weird play by White. He's trying to get me to overextend myself. Anyway, guys, last game. I don't see a great move here. It looks good for me on paper, but he's threatening to kick me out with h3. Castles, I guess. I mean, this is lame, though. I'm going to have to give up my bishop, not to lose a pawn. Actually, knight e4 isn't even a good move. I guess I can play queen d7. Looks like black might even be better. I mean, black might even be worse now. He's played positionally really, really well. No, I misplayed this last game. He's smiling, whatever that means. Black is worse. Hopefully not that much worse, but bishop takes f3, this was a bad idea. I guess I should try, well, what choice do I have, actually? At that point, my previous move is the problem. I should play maybe queen d7. Actually, that's bad too. Hard to say what I should play. I don't know, I think that I'm just like slightly worse here. He sent a mocking smile. It's how you look at it, Bob. I think that's how you look at it. You know, to you it's a mocking smile. To another guy, it's like a friendly reminder that he's a good guy. It's all in perception. What am I afraid of here? I don't know. I mean, he could trade queens, or try to trade queens. Knight f5. Knight f5 is concerning. He backed off. That's good. We definitely want him to back off. The question was, could he play knight f5 there? You know, that looked kind of problematic. He was scared to like pin himself, but if he could play knight f5 and just support it with g4, maybe the last laugh is on me. Now he played f4. What? This just loses a piece, doesn't it? I guess not. Obviously, I didn't consider this. Doesn't lose a piece. Okay, optimistic thinking. c4. c4 is kind of interesting. Undoubling my pawns. An opportunistic idea. This is kind of hard to call. But I'm way down on time. He just blundered bishop c5 check. That's silly. So you just need to make a normal move there. I thought white was better, or at least equal. Okay, guys, I got to go. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in and playing with me. It's gonna be like this every Friday. I try to play some 5-3 against everybody rather than just my subscribers. Dude, what's going on here? Aren't you like at least equal? Okay, Stockfish has him just a tiny bit worse. For some reason I was looking at queen somewhere, but the F file is sort of dangerous. Let's see though. Earlier Yeah, he played weirdly with knight g5, but I thought that later... Apparently I missed the move here. Knight takes e4 and what? Yeah, I think after knight g3, white is just okay. And here, it's possible he's more than okay. And as I said, I think knight f5. It's a little... you have to be a little courageous to self-pin yourself like that. But seriously, it reminds me of one of my... Nefedov will appreciate this. It reminds me of one of those Schliemann variations that I play against Nefedov. This is slightly better for white with a self pin, and I have to be careful not to be worse here. Anyway, guys, good games. I will see you next Friday for the same thing. I'm streaming 6 days a week. Please come by on Sunday. I'm doing a simul at 6:30 p.m. CET. Actually, this week, you know what, guys? I'm gonna make it 7 p.m. because I have a long trip to Eastern Hungary to play a Hungarian team championship. So let's schedule the simul this week, not for 6:30. We're gonna push it up to push it down or push it back to 7 p.m. How do you say it? Push it up. Push it up to 7 p.m. on Sunday. Okay, guys? 20-player simul, 30-30 time control on Sunday is the next stream. Thanks for joining me. Thanks Soltigo for moderating. Was he even here today? Well, it was like blending in with last night's simul. Maybe Soltigo wasn't here. But anyway, guys, we will thank him nevertheless. We'll go up to 7 p.m. on Sunday. I'll see you guys. Bye-bye.